Oh, hello! Hi there,
Hello.
everyone. How are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday and not a wacky Wednesday.
With Wacky Chaplin. Yeah, is it sad
Chaplin!
I just noticed he was in my lap too? I'm just so used to him being there. I'm like, oh, hey, Chaplin.
No, I
Just didn't
loved
even,
that.
like, in my head.
I loved that. He's just so permanently there that
Right?
he's always by your side. That's
Yeah,
so
always there.
cute. That's
He's a
so
good kid.
fun. And you get the little feet stretches in there too,
Yep,
chat.
yep.
Aren't you lucky today? Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Chatting with Doug on this Wednesday. This is our second week that we've done it here on a
Yeah.
Wednesday. I hope you all had a chance at this point to watch the new Nostalgia Critic, which came out about an hour ago. This one
Yeah.
actually decided to
Yeah.
go
This one's
past.
on. I want to say it's on time, but it's not my fault the last one. It's a DMCA takedown.
Yes, and someone did ask a question about that, so I'm sure you
Oh,
can
okay.
maybe
Oh,
tell the status in a little bit.
yeah.
When we get to that question. Speaking of, y'all, thank you so much for this hype train.
Thank
We're on
you.
level 2 of this hype train. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So we can jump into some of these rules and get to some of these
Yeah.
questions as this hype train keeps on a moving and grooving. First and foremost, we're going to give priority to the bit messages first, since that is some real world money spent. Sometimes we do have time for highlighted questions at the end of stream, but please save your highlighting for the end of stream, because if you highlight it now, I cannot scroll up and go back and check it. It's a live platform and it just literally doesn't let me. Also, please, no spoilers. Some of us, that's me, it's me, have not had a chance to watch Ms. Marvel or Kenobi yet.
Well,
Okay?
the latest Kenobi, you've seen the other three. Or four, whatever it is.
Yes, the latest Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. But what was I saying now? Oh yeah, so no spoilers, okay? Don't be that person. Some of us have also not had a chance to see Top Gun yet either. Just no spoilers, okay?
Even if we tell you what happens, it doesn't matter. You go to see the flying scenes. You can guess what happens. It doesn't matter.
Well, some of us have also never seen the original Top Gun, so
Well, even that one you can guess what happens.
again, some of us totally. It's me. It is me.
If you've seen Hot Shots, you've seen Top Gun.
I haven't seen that either, Doug. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
so
I'm like Tamara.
Top Gun.
I just didn't see movies. I'm sorry. Anyway, another one of our rules here, getting back on track.
Sorry.
Please watch the length of your questions. The longer they are, the more likely we are to lose the question and just not be able to answer it. So the shorter and the sweeter, the better. Also, please do not repeat the same thing over and over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continue to do it. That does also include some of our bit messages here. I have a list. We get behind. No need to repeat it. In fact, if you do, we'll probably just kind of be like, oh, I guess you didn't know. Sorry, moving on. Speaking of, oh, I guess you didn't know. Sorry, moving on. Maybe double check to see if someone else hasn't already asked the question that you are wanting to ask. Because I know there's a lot of trailers that just came out. So maybe before you ask about the Munsters or Wednesday or
Black Adam.
Black Adam or
That's like
whatever.
we were just talking about before. We're like, yeah,
We were.
shit, a lot of trailers did drop, didn't they?
They did. Maybe just check to make sure no one else asked that question first. Because we just always feel bad being like,
Yeah.
oh, we kind of already answered that question. Moving on.
Yeah, here's the clip notes.
Right. And I think that's it.
We got it. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Well, then let's dive into some of these questions.
Do it.
Modika, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey guys, Doug, aside from The Mask of Zorro, what are other Catherine Zeta-Jones films that you like?
I never saw all of Entrapment. I saw a couple parts, the parts you're thinking of. But I remember that being pretty good. Man, I'd have to go through like, Chicago. I do like. I don't think it's phenomenal, but I like it.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. I kind of have to, even though none of it's shot in Chicago.
That's not required, Doug.
It is funny because that's like the last thing I associate that movie with is Chicago. Isn't that funny?
That is
never
funny.
think of the city with that. But yeah, there you go.
I love the multi-passes in chat.
Yeah. Well, Captain Zeta Jones was very good in that too.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 26-month subscription.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. 26 heckin' months. Thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you.
Doug, how was the Bob's Burgers movie? Also, I have an idea for a Nostalgiaween review. Freaky, the body swap horror comedy.
Oh, I did see that.
I did too.
Yeah, I like that movie.
That one was fun.
Both of them are good. Vince Vaughn, I forget the actress's name, but they are both really good in it.
Mhm.
I still haven't seen Bob's Burgers. I'm sorry.
No.
A lot of stuff came up this week. I'm actually a little under the weather too, I hate to tell you. So yeah, I might not have as much energy as usual, but yeah, it still might be a hot minute before I check it out.
Noff Noff, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Doug. There's no Rob, I'm sorry. Rob and Heather, have you guys ever watched Caravan of Garbage? It's like this podcast review series of reviews of comic books, movies, television episodes, and video games, hosted by James and Masso.
It's also something Rob would love. Garbage!
Caravan of Garbage.
No, I think I've seen these thumbnails, but I never actually clicked on one of the videos, but that's good to know. I will try to check them out.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. What are your opinions on the trailers for Black Adam, Prey, and Strange World?
Prey, that's another one. Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
I thought it looked pretty cool. Yeah, well, and even when I reviewed Alien versus Predator, I was saying, man, how cool would it be if it was just an alien, a predator, and, you know, one human? Like, that'd be cool. And it kind of looks like they're doing that. It's just the predator, but I like that it's kind of like one human as being hunted, and there's very few weapons. So I thought it looked really cool. What's the other one? Black Adam looked cool. I don't know. How can that not
It looks
be cool?
fun. Honestly,
yeah, just
The
The
Rock,
as a superhero / supervillain. Come on, that's gonna be.
he's having a blast, and you can
Yeah.
tell, I think, that it's his passion project.
Uh,
That he executive produced some turds just so he could make the money to do this one.
yeah, I thought, and I know nothing about the comic.
I don't
so,
either,
yeah,
honestly.
It'll be nice going in knowing nothing about it. And then was it the Strange World?
Yeah.
I thought that looked good too. I mean, the world is what grabbed me the most about it, which I think is a good thing. That's the title. I like the idea of like things in the world kind of connect to each other, like different parts of land will connect to like different creatures, and different creatures will connect to each other. I really like that idea. In the Black Cauldron, Tim Burton did these designs for some creatures, and that was one of the ideas is different creatures would like it kind of Voltron each other on top of each other.
Okay.
To get bigger. And they scrapped all his ideas, and they were really good ideas. So I like seeing that explored in something like this because it looks like they're exploring similar thoughts.
Yeah, and I liked how they had like that kind of pulpy intro. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Idea for the opening to your Jurassic World Dominion review. Have Rob go, I'm a dinosaur for your intro. By the way, I heard that Dominion sucks, minus the original trio and Chris Pratt.
Well, you know, I realized something. Heather, I'm wondering if you're the same. I don't think I've liked one Jurassic Park sequel. I think it's only the first movie, and I confused myself with liking at least one of them. And then I'm going through the list. I'm like, no, I haven't liked any of them. There's parts of Jurassic World I liked. I liked the park, and I liked the cool fight with the dinosaurs. But I can't think of any other movie. Did you like any of the sequels?
I mean, I don't think I've seen any of the sequels besides Jurassic World.
Okay.
I saw Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
I mean, I guess that's the closest to a good one. Yeah, even that one. Did you like Jurassic World or no?
It was fun.
Okay, yeah.
But, like, it wasn't amazing, but it also wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in cinemas.
Yeah, no, there's some really cool scenes in it.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Not gonna lie, the characters from Bob's Burgers kind of look like 2D Muppets.
I totally agree. They have those mouths that kind of, you know, like the lower lip. I guess the Simpsons are kind of like that too. They have like the lower lip that's really far back. But yeah, something about it looks like a hand is like inside them, like every one of them. I get that too. I'm glad we can't be the first people to notice that. But yeah, it's nice to finally verbalize. Like I never verbalized that to anyone.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. I know it'd be a pain to get through copyright, but will you ever consider doing non-Ghibli anime films like Akira or Summer Wars? It'd be very interesting to hear your opinion on those.
Well, that's Great to know, not a chance in hell. Unless the laws in Japan change. Because, yeah,
They
they are
probably are not.
brutal. So, yeah, I mean, even the ones in America, we still haven't gotten Legend of the Guardians, cleared,
Cleared.
So, yeah, that's in America. So, yeah, so probably not, even though I'd love to. Those are, really cool movies.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Al, how far are you into Amphibia, Doug? Hope it's frogging good by now.
I just finished season 1, and I liked it. Though I felt like, man, so much of that last episode should have been like spread out throughout most of the season. I felt like they only dedicated like 3 episodes to it. I'm like, why wasn't this the focus the whole time? So, but I'm liking it. Anything with like Sasha and the other army, I is probably the best stuff, or any connection with that. So it looks like there's going to be more of that in the next season. So I'm down.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. You know something funny? The president in Fifth Element was a voice in Zootopia. He played Nick's partner in crime.
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't he do another voice? I guess not. I guess it was just that one. No, that's one of those guys where I always look him up, and I'm like, oh, that dude, like the guy from Friday. Yeah. Oh my God. Like he's a cool actor. Just a weird choice for the president in Fifth Element. And I don't know. Maybe if they wrote him well, he could have done it pretty good. But yeah, it was just like they just made him a pretty dumb president.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. I'll tell you this. While I couldn't get into Moon Knight, Miss Marvel's first episode is a lot of fun.
I really liked it. I was just telling Heather it's funny because it reminded me a lot of Turning Red, and I only really liked the last third of Turning Red. This is much more what I wanted the first 2/3 of it to be, because it's kind of a similar style and setup with the mother and the daughter butting heads and something supernatural happens. But the pacing, I thought, was better for me because I felt like every emotion was allowed to sit for a minute. You could see the reactions they were getting. Where Turning Red was just way too fast, and the style was way too in your face, where I like this one knew when to have the style and then let it be quiet, and then sometimes it's in the background, sometimes it's in the foreground, and I really related to the main character, maybe because I did do a lot of drawings and I got distracted very easily and I wasn't the best student and everything. So like, I don't know, just everything she was kind of going through in this, I was like, yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah, man, I remember falling on like the couch after riding a bike and talking about like, the things I'm working on and doing little videos and stuff. So I don't know. I really related with her too. So yeah, I'm digging it so far. It's what I was telling Heather. It's one of the few times I'm watching it saying, I don't need the superhero. I'm liking this okay, just on its own.
I'm
like
really
excited. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but I was pretty entertained.
I'm excited to check it out. Very excited. I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. I can tell you right now, Hustle is a film that works. Adam Sandler nails it.
I was watching that saying, I hope this is good because I like when he does drama. He's usually really good at it. But I was just looking at the story like, man, this looks like such a generic, done a million times story. I hope they can make it work. So hearing that is a good sign because, yeah, I was actually curious to check that out.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, where's that review of Legends of the Guardians that was supposed to come out last week? Are you still dealing with those DMCA issues with it? And will you ever be able to upload it soon?
Yeah, I mean, it's uploaded. We just gotta, unprivatize it. Yeah, get it cleared. Yeah. It's up to them. It's in that lovely spot where we fight it and they say, oh, okay, we're going to wait, whatever, 2 weeks. I mean, we can go in any time and say, yeah, you're right. We actually watched it this time and notice it's a review. So this is, totally fine. But they'll do what a lot of studios do and forget about it and let it time out after roughly 2 weeks. And system's broken.
Doug, you got a little blurry. I don't know.
Oh, no! It's getting me. My camera is broken too. Is that better or no?
It's getting a little bit better.
Getting a little better? How about there? Is that better?
Yes. There you are.
Okay, well, if I go back
there,
here,
those baby blues.
There you are, Peter.
Yeah. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, at some point, would you do an NC for the Power Rangers movie 2017? I really enjoyed it because it at least tried to do something different and more serious.
I agree. Maybe I don't have like a passion to talk about it, but there is some interesting stuff to talk about. So I don't know. I always have it on the list, and I'm always like, this week, nah, I want to talk about this, and keep going from there. But yeah, I don't know. I might. I do have it on the list. It's just whenever the mood hits me right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, in your Barney the Dinosaur review, did your father actually kick you in the nuts?
He's a method actor. So, I mean, you can draw the conclusion from there. If you notice my voice got a little higher in the review, you'll know why.
Oh, man. Just Barney absolutely nailing you in the nuts really made me laugh.
And he wasn't satisfied with the first take, so we had to do it like 4 times. And like, I'm the director, I'm supposed to have control, but he was like, no, I'm gonna do it whether the camera is rolling or not. So I figured my footage have some options.
Tenko, thank you so much for the 13-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, how much of Amphibia have you seen and your thoughts thus far?
What it was asked before, but I'll give you the cliff notes. I just finished season 1. I liked it, though. I wish they really just dragged out that last episode to be like half the season. I don't know why they squished all of that into one episode, but I'm excited for the second season.
Mumra, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Have you started or finished Stranger Things yet? And what are your thoughts on it? To me, it's the best season since the first. I agree.
So disappointing news. I started and finished it, but that's literally all I did. I saw the first episode. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't grabbing me. So I'm like, I told my wife, you can watch it if you want. And then I kept hearing about this, was it Running Up the Hill, Climbing Up the Hill? And I'm like, all right, I gotta see what this is. And I watched it. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure I just saw the ending. Cool.
That's not the ending.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Maybe I will check out the rest then.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty cool scene. I know I should give it a chance. And
this season is really good, Doug.
It's not awful. It's just, how some things just irk you just the right way.
Yes.
And there's just some things about it's not really looking like an old 80s movie anymore. That bothers me. Some of the acting's a little hokey. The way they run the school and there's no teachers or anybody and everyone just does what they want.
It was the 80s.
No, I the 80s.
I know.
Agree with that shit. I know. Tried. But that's the thing. If it was still shot like an 80s movie, I'd be like, oh, well, it's like a send-up to that. Because in the 80s movies, there's never any teachers. But it's not. It's done like anything else today. So it's just those right amount of little things that kind of turn me off. But you're probably right. I should give it a chance. But you know what I mean? Even when the majority of it is good, it's just those couple little things that just just pick at your brain. You're just like, damn it, I hate this.
Yeah. Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Favorite montage in a movie?
Oh, fuck. Maybe the opening to Rocky 3. That's just such good visual storytelling, and the song is great, and the editing is so good. I love how much information to get across in that short amount of time. I know there's other ones, but that's the one I probably watch the most because I love the way it's put together.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, now that Tobey Maguire is more or less a part of the MCU, are there any plans to play any of his Spider-Man games? Spider-Man 2 is considered one of the best Spider-Man games.
Whichever one has that, was it Spider-Man 3 where there's that woman that's strapped to a bomb and she looks like possessed or something, and when you fall, she's just like, I don't want to die, kaboom! I'll play that because that scene is just one of my favorite internet memes. We'll see. We'll see what we want to do. I think even after Guardians, we have to talk about what game we're going to do next. I think a lot that depends on how much time we'll have left.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, if the Guardians of Ga'Hoole review doesn't come out by next week, can you give us a clue of what the next NC will be?
After Ga'Hoole. I'm assuming we'll have it out before, it's not going to replace an NC. We're not planning on doing that or anything. What is the next one? I'm still finishing the next one. Yeah, like I said, I got a little under the weather, so things got pushed back a little bit. But I'll say it's Garfield related. It's a Garfield related something. Yeah, because I actually really like Garfield.
Okay, all right. Alex the Animator, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, since you live in Chicago, have you ever considered filming your videos at some of the famous highlights in the Windy City, like at the Willis Tower?
Uh, I'm trying to think if I ever have.
It's a lot harder to do than you think it would be. Like, you can't just like bring a camera to the Willis Tower. You know?
I mean, you, how do I put it? You can, and you can get like shots of it, but in terms of like filming a scene there, no. I mean, if anything, just like noise control and stuff like that would be pretty crazy. Am I blurry again?
You got clear.
Okay,
It,
okay.
it actually focused itself. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
it went blurry and then it got clear.
But yeah, also I just don't know what I would film there. Weirdly, like in
Yeah.
the early days, sometimes I feel like I would go down there and shoot some stuff. But yeah, I don't know what I would do. No, I mean I love the city, but yeah, it's like I don't know what I would shoot there.
It's just difficult too with all the crowds. So.
Yeah.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. What are your thoughts on Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I like it. I totally understand people there just like, yeah, fuck this kid.
I like it.
No, I like it too, but when someone's like, as someone that's not a big fan of Matthew Broderick, when they're like, I hate Broderick in that movie, his smug little smile, and he's a little asshole and he gets away with it. It's like, fair. That's fair, but that's also kind of what's fun about it. I like
Right.
It's just kind of it's like the cat in the hat. Once in a while, take a day off, enjoy life, break the rules a little bit. Like, I'm down for that.
Yeah. I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. I have an idea for a commercial you could review. The Shrek 2 Sierra Mist commercial. That image of Donkey in space still terrifies me and makes me shit my pants.
Okay, Shrek 2 Sierra Mist?
Yep, a Sierra Mist.
Okay, I will look that up at some point. All right.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. What a loaded question. Doug, do you hate Kenobi as much as Walter?
I hate it in a different way. I love it like I'm watching a Shyamalan film. I mean, the acting is so awkward and the blocking and staging is so awkward that it brings me a lot of joy, but it's really weird because that director has a lot of like good shit under her belt, like Better Call Saul and Jessica Jones and Mandalorian, shows that like don't have a bad episode. Like if there's anything bad in those shows, it would stand out. So it's really weird. It's as awkward as it is, but it does bring me a lot of joy. I mean, it's super entertaining to me.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Do you think you'll watch the new Adam Sandler movie Hustle? It premiered on Netflix today and is getting very good reviews. I hear Sandler himself is great in it. Curious.
I might check it out. Like I said, I'm gonna take the rest of the day to like just kind of recoup here because, like I said, I've been kind of feeling under the weather, and I have been watching a bunch of stuff. So knowing that's out, it's like I might put that on. I might check that out.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Favorite Steve Martin film / role?
Oh man. Shit. God, it's like he has such a huge library. I'd have to really look. I have a soft spot for LA Story. It's very corny, but I like how surreal it is, and there is kind of a goofy, magical side to it that's a little forced, but it's charming. I can't help it. And I really like him in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Really, really makes me laugh.
Chris Top, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, I got a bad feeling about Jurassic World. I'm going anyway since I've literally been a fan my whole life, but oh boy, this is probably going to be another Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, like I said, I have yet to see a good Jurassic Park sequel, so my hopes aren't high. And I guess it's not getting the best reviews either. But at the very least, I hope it's like so bad it's good. That motorcycle chase looked pretty cool.
Okay.
I will say that. But yeah, everything else, I don't know. After the first one, the dinosaurs just don't look that cool to me. I don't know. It's just I can always see what kind of effect it is. They don't do anything that new. That's the only reason I like parts of Jurassic World. It's like, okay, well, they opened the park. That's new. And that's neat, and that's really, really cool. But most other stuff, it's just the dinosaurs being dinosaurs and not doing too much else with it. Weirdly, because isn't this like the 6th sequel? You think they would have done something more crazy by this point.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Favorite Jack Nicholson film / role?
Man. God, that's another one where it's like I'd have to really think about it. I haven't seen some of the big. I haven't seen 5 Easy Pieces, or oh, what the some other one. Not the Evening Star. I think it's like the sequel to it. I don't know. In terms of endearment, I haven't seen that one. Uh, but I mean, in terms of what I like him in, like I mean, the ones you like, the ones where he's over the top, The Shining, Joker, Few Good Men. I mean, he's always over the top, but that's
Hmm.
really what's fun about him,
Right,
and he
that's
does
Hayao
it so
Nicholson.
well. Yeah, I mean, I love it when he's overacting, underacting, really doing whatever the hell he wants. It's always so entertaining. I always dig it.
Modika, thank you for the 50 bits. I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sorry. Any plans to review Kenneth Branagh's
Yeah, you got
Frankenstein? I did get it, yes.
it. But it's Frankenstein.
Oh, Frankenstein.
At some point we might do Bram Stoker's Dracula, and if that goes over okay, maybe we'll do Frankenstein. I don't even know how that Dracula one will go over. I think that's gonna be like Tombstone. Like everyone likes to talk about it, but I don't think they like to watch many videos about it.
Hmm.
So we'll see. Even though Keanu Reeves is hilarious.
Mumra, thank you for the 50 bits. With the success of Top Gun Maverick critically and financially, do you think there will be a third sequel attempt, or the Iron Eagle franchise giving it a go again?
I mean, with Top Gun being such a big smash, they might. I could see them doing a direct to DVD sequel.
Direct to streaming sequel?
Streaming, thank you. Yes, direct to streaming. I was trying to think what the terminology is now. Yeah, for Iron Eagle. But in terms of Top Gun, I don't know. I feel like Cruise is like, oh, what other franchises can I go back to and actually do? Kind
Yeah.
of thing. Maybe I'll actually get in a car crash in Days of Thunder. I don't know. So I can't see them doing that, but because even I think would be, man, by the time that gets made, I'm gonna be like really, really old. So he'll probably find something else to do. But I do think it's really cool. He's kind of turned himself into a spectacle, doing those stunts and everything. Like it is. A lot of people say that's kind of like the last movie star, and it's like I think that's fair. Yeah, you actually are going to see the movie just to see him and what he does with some sort of stunt or something, and that is pretty cool.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Before I start, I would like to remember legendary DC and Marvel artist George Perez, who passed away last month from pancreatic cancer. I didn't realize it until I saw Sven Gulli Saturday, and he will be missed.
That's sad. George Perez, was that his name?
Perez.
Perez. Okay. Oh, I feel like I've seen this guy
Probably.
before. He always wears like a Hawaiian shirt and stuff like that, or kind of shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, R.I.P. Man, that sucks. Oh, he did the Superman holding Supergirl image. I guess that's what's popping out. I definitely remember that one. That's a big whoa moment. Cool. I mean, sad, but R.I.P.
Alan, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, have you started Stranger Things Season 4? And if you haven't, highly recommend. It's the best season since the first one.
I'll give it a shot. I started it. It wasn't grabbing me, but I should be fair and watch the whole thing. I get the feeling everybody's right. Like, if I get to the whole thing, I'll be like, okay, I'm glad I saw that, despite all the little nitpicks that I have.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I have an idea for Nostalgiaween. Happy Death Day and its sequel. It's like Groundhog Day meets Scream, and the second film embraces more of its comedy side, but both films have a lot of heart.
I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. First one is fun. And it's another one of those movies I went with some friends, and it's another one of those where it's like when I know who did it, I call it out like really early. And it's another one of those where like, you don't know that. And then at the end, it turns out I was right. They're just like, how the hell did you know that? And I'm not even like looking at the clues. There's just something about the way a movie is written and directed or a performance is that I say, okay, if at the end, would I go back and say, oh, that person did it? Like, it's hard to explain. It's some sort of sixth sense that most of the time I'm pretty good at, but sometimes it really does throw me for a loop.
Toon Girl, thank you for the 100 bits. Excited for the live-action remake of Pinocchio from the director of Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Polar Express, and The Witches.
Yeah, the remake of The Witches, thank you. It's funny because we were talking about last stream, and originally I was saying no, but then I thought about the weird dark scenes with like the kids turning into donkeys and stuff, and I'm thinking of the weird dark scenes that Zemeckis does in his motion capture animated stuff. And I'm kind of excited for that because even if that doesn't work, it's gonna work. Like it's gonna leave an imprint on you somehow. So I'm weirdly kind of excited for that.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Good freak show cinema or Nostalgiaween review idea? Sausage Party. Nuff said.
For Nostalgiaween, really? I thought of that. Even freak show cinema, I wouldn't get that much. I guess there's one or two scenes. But I Sausage Party is interesting because it might be the only film I can think of. I'm sure there's others, but it's the only one I can think of where it's an atheist movie, and I never see that. It's actually like kind of as you know, it's supposed to be over the top and comedic and bad taste and stuff, but like the overall message is actually being comfortable with being an atheist, and I'm like, that's a surprisingly mature message. Okay, all right. So I remember liking it. I don't know if I review it. If anything else, I just think YouTube wouldn't let me air it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. You know what would be a fun commercial if fast food restaurant commercials ran like political attack ads? Like Burger King saying McDonald's pancakes were actually made with cocaine.
I mean, they did kind of do that for a while. Back in like, I want to say the late 80s and early 90s, like anything that was in competition was done like a political ad. Like phone companies, video game companies, like fast food restaurants too. Yeah, like sodas did it a lot. So yeah, if you look them up, I mean, they definitely did that quite a bit. It's not as far-fetched as you would think.
Yeah, but it's illegal now. You can't do it now.
I was always wondering how they did it back then. I was like, did they have to get permission? Was it like, because they would use like the logo in there and everything. I'm like, how are they doing this?
Along came Sonic, thank you for the 50 bits. Huge recommendation, the Netflix series The Midnight Gospel. It's extremely creative, has amazing writing and storytelling elements, and you'll be changed by the end of the show, and unfortunately it was canceled after its first season. Hope you enjoy.
I have seen it. We watched it actually as soon as it came out. I really love that show. It is very easy to see, even if Netflix wasn't in trouble, why that show would be canceled. Because some people I show it to, and they're just like, "What? Like this is opening up parts of my brain I never knew could be opened up." And other people are looking at it's like, what the fuck is this? You know, it's definitely not something where it's like, you're not deep enough if you don't follow it. No, that's really not it. It's a very bizarre way of doing so where they have a podcast where they'll talk about abstract things and then they'll just animate these people talking while going through these surreal worlds where stuff that has almost nothing to do with the podcast is going on. Huh. And it is just like trippy as hell stuff. And it's really fascinating. And it really worked on me. It is not for everybody. I want to make that very clear.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, I forgot to mention, Happy Death Day is directed by the same guy who made Freaky with Vince Vaughn.
Oh, that's cool. Good to know.
JT, thank you for the 50 bits. So with Avatar 2 on the way, what are the chances that Disney will re-release the first one in theaters again shortly before Avatar 2's release? Not gonna lie, I'd see it again in theaters. Would you see the first one in theaters again if given the chance?
Only because the second one is coming out. And it's like, well, I'm going to see that anyway, you know, because I'm sure the effects will be even better. I was impressed with how well the effects held up years later. I was actually really shocked by that because I think there was so much buildup to how phenomenal it was going to look. And I saw it, and I was like, well, I mean, it looked good, but I don't know. What's the groundbreaking? You need years and years, decades to do this? That's weird. But comparing it to like stuff that comes out nowadays, I'm like, yeah, all right, this actually does look pretty impressive. I think just the blue cat people look so weird. It's so jarring that you can't acknowledge, oh yeah, that's something that's really there. I'm looking at like it's realistic. But it was pretty cool.
Pigsy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, have you seen the 2004 Thunderbirds movie and have you considered reviewing it?
No, but I've gotten a lot of requests for it, so maybe I should.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Can we all agree that Thor is the coolest hero to hang out with next to Shazam? Due to the fact that he can eat more than Joey Chestnut, Matt Stoney, and LA Beast. Also, he can drink so much beer he can shut down a brewery. That shows how fun he is.
I really like Thor. Out of the Avengers, it was like him and Black Widow were like my personal favorites. And I don't know if they're like many people's favorites, but I don't know. Anytime they were on screen, they were doing something interesting or fun, and I just always really dug them.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you consider doing a review of The Wizard of Oz? I would love to hear your thoughts on that timeless classic.
Man, I mean, it's interesting, but what would I add that everyone else hasn't said? I mean, it's interesting for a film that's almost like 100 years old, how well it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I like to do, one day I'll do like an editorial or a video or something. I'd love to do a video about emotional storytelling, like stories that focus mainly on the emotion, not really the logic of the situation. Because I think that Snow White and Where the Wild Things are like the holy trinity of
Okay.
that. And I would love to talk about that. Because I mean, when you watch them, it's like logically those stories don't make any sense, but they are 100% driven by emotion, and I think they really really succeed in that way. Even as an adult I can watch it and be like, this is just so emotional, even though like it makes no sense and it's a kid's story, but it's like that's one of the reasons it works so well, and kids are so emotional, so that's why they connect so strongly with it. So at some point maybe I'll tie it into that, but a standalone review, probably not, because I don't think I'd have anything that new to say.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 200 bits. Hello to Dashing Doug and Heavenly Heather. If Rob were here, he'd be radical. Anyway, there are 13 days until my mom and dad's 30th anniversary, and I'm so excited.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather, are you going to watch the Video Game Summer Game Fest to see what else is coming soon? I hope it'll do a little better than the State of Play. Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably check that stuff out. Honestly, I didn't hate the last State of Play. I thought we got a lot of interesting stuff that happened in the last State of Play. But I'm always down for more video game announcements. Kirok, thank you for the 1,000 bits. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Are we a day early, or is there a new schedule? By the way, hi Heather, hi Doug, hope you two are well. There is a new schedule. We tried to give people at least 2 or 3 weeks notice. But yes, this is now when we're doing the Q&A, and Tamra's stream is now permanently tomorrow. So
also, it was supposed to be in the last NC, the one last week, but Warner Brothers got in the way. So yeah, but
so
it is
here
in
we
this
are.
video, the one that came out an hour earlier. So I guess that's not, if you only watch the NCs, then yes, that you probably wouldn't notice.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. I'm pretty sure next week the rest of the year will be a bit lighter. And yes, that's a Lightyear joke.
Are you looking forward to that movie?
I'm intrigued, but I'm not going to take time out of my life necessarily to like run to the theater to see it.
Yeah, it's like, I guess I'm curious about them starting off on a different planet. I think that's kind of neat. That's an interesting starting point. Nothing else about it looks that interesting, but again, maybe that's a good sign, because a lot of the trailers that look really good sometimes turn out bad movies and vice versa. So I guess we'll see.
Bauer fan, thank you so much for that 16-month subscription.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Appreciate that. And they just say, love the channel.
Oh, love you.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. One thing I love about Top Gun Maverick is Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly's relationship. They feel like a genuine couple and actually support one another. Whenever Connelly actually tries, like in this movie, she can be really goddamn good. Or she could be like she wasn't Hulk.
Yeah, it's funny because I always have a soft spot for Jennifer Connelly, but I know what you're talking about. It's a weird career, because you could show her in Hulk, you could show her in like House of Sand and Fog, and then you can show her in like The Labyrinth. And if it didn't look like her, you'd swear those were 3 different actresses of 3 totally different ranges. It's really weird. But yeah, she can be very, very good. And yeah, I remember her being pretty good in Maverick.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, which Amphibia episode from season 1 was your favorite, and which character is growing on you?
Oh, no, I'm forgetting the name. Was it Sheila? Oh, I can't remember the name, but the one with the blonde girl and the Toad Army. Because I thought that was a much more interesting setup. The stuff with Anne and the frogs, it's like, okay, cute, but I mean, there's already like this butting of heads where she's the prisoner, he's like the captor and stuff, but they're kind of growing on each other, and they help each other out, and they're like exact opposites, but they find ways to get along, but they're both kind of mean and evil too, and I really like that, but they're both kind of softies. I like that is so much more interesting than the stuff I've already seen with like, oh, a fish out of water. How will she adapt? Oh, what a goofy world. And I mean, which is fine, but I just think the stuff with her and the whatever the toad head of the guards, whatever he was so much more interesting.
Chad is saying her name is Sasha.
Sasha, thank you.
Sasha.
Sorry about that. And I think I got it right earlier. That's what's so funny.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. What is your opinion on Caillou? I hate that fucking little brat.
Ew, spell it.
Caillou?
Yeah.
Caillou? You don't know Caillou?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm sure I do. Okay.
He's a little bald kid.
I only know this character because every parent I know hates him.
Yep.
Every teacher I know hates him.
Yep.
Every parent I know hates him. They
Yep.
just can't stand this kid.
Yep.
And I have never heard any audio from him. I don't know what the show's about or anything. I just see this picture. I see a little twitch in grown-ups' eyes when they've seen it. And there's a part of me that's like, maybe I should watch an episode just to see what they're talking about. I think I even made a joke in like an NC where I just joke about like how parents are saying, oh, at least it's not Caillou or however you say his name. Because yeah, the hate for him is very real, and I'm very fascinated by it. So one of these days, I got to watch and see what all the hate is about.
Yeah. I mean, it's just annoying. He's a very whiny, bratty, obnoxious kid.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, none of my nieces and nephews ever got into Caillou. They have taste, okay? I watched my nieces and nephews today, and we watched Bluey and Spidey and his amazing friends. Okay.
I always see it
They have
advertised on
taste.
Disney Plus. It's like it's like the Funko Spider-Man
Yes.
characters, right? Yeah,
Yes.
It looks adorable.
It's cute. It's fun. It's more like, for me, as a older comic book fan, it's just fun to be like, oh, here's my 3-year-old nephew who knows who Miles Morales is, which is like still wild to me that like my 3-year-old nephew has an opinion about his favorite Spider-Man and it's Miles Morales. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, great. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather, is there an indie game you were surprised by how much you loved playing? I never thought I would love playing Hades, even though I'm usually turned off by those types of game mechanics. I played a really fun game on Game Pass called Rain on Your Parade. Lucas introduced me to it. It's kind of like, it's got like a couple of different mechanics to it, but also has a Katamari feel to it as well. There's another one that I liked called Donut County, which also is very Katamari. I like puzzly, comfy games like that. And I think all of those are on Game Pass. So if you have Xbox Game Pass, thumbs up. Hard Knocks, thank you for the 100 bits. No message, just the bits. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, is the Garfield review a CG movie or a traditionally animated movie? If it's CG, is it Garfield Gets Real?
It is. I mean, I'm gonna narrow it down more and more I talk about, but it is not a movie.
Ooh, interesting. Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. I would prefer the first Borderlands is set during the first game so I can see Bill Burr as Mordecai and Braun Strowman, the guy who's played the Scotsman on Holmes and Watson, won't front if I know you saw it, as Brick, and I rather see Chiwetel Ejiofor as Roland.
Heather, what are your thoughts on that?
I've never played a Borderlands. I've never played a Borderlands game, unfortunately.
I haven't either, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. I thought it was... Oh, it is a movie. It is a Borderlands movie. Yes, okay. That is. Jack Black is voicing a character, and...
Of course,
it sounds interesting.
With Chris Pratt, he's voicing like half the video game characters, I guess.
Right. Somewhere between Chris Pratt, Jack Black, or Seth Rogen, one of the three is involved in some way, shape, or form. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 150 bits. Also, Doug, have you watched or will you watch Disney's The Kid, Mr. Holland's Opus, Remember the Titans, etc. for Disney-cember this year or next year?
I'll do one of them. I'm a little behind on the Disney-cembers.
Oh no.
Yeah, a little bit. I gotta catch up. I mean, I know I technically have. I mean, if I wanted, I could just be like, "Hey, start in November. Watch something, do a video that day or something." But it'd just be like cramming it, like super stressful. So I usually stretch them. I mean, like I'm watching the shows. Obviously, I'm playing the games. I'm seeing some newer movies that come out. But yeah, I'm usually like. I don't know, at least 1/3 or halfway done by this point, and yeah, I'm just majorly behind, so I gotta catch up. But I think I have the kid on there because I've always wanted to see that one, and maybe I should do Remember the Titans because everybody says it's great.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Since we got Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, and even a Yogi Bear as live-action movies, which other Hanna-Barbera character or series as a live-action movie would you like to see? In my opinion, a Wacky Racers live-action movie or series would be great.
Wacky Races, I could see them doing. Oh wait, no, I'm confusing with the Laugh Olympics. I always confuse those two. Okay, Laugh Olympics, right there. I want to see that movie. Just get all the characters together. But honestly, I feel like Jetsons could be a pretty funny movie. You could even do like some commentary with it if you want, if you got like really good writers.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I know we got the animated one, but that ain't the same.
No.
I mean, I like to see modern day writers tackle that, still keeping the spirit of the show, but like updating it as well. I think that could be pretty interesting.
JT, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you guys say the 1980s were the platinum age of horror movies? Poltergeist, Evil Dead, The Fly, The Thing, Elm Street, and so many other classic horror movies and franchises with amazingly terrifying practical effects.
It depends what you're looking for, and I think I'm finding out more and more a lot of horror is like that. Because for me, I like ones that are a little bit more. They got the creepy visuals, but they're very psychological as well. And that's not all to say that wasn't in the 80s, but like you said, they were all kind of the slasher monsters and practical effect creatures and a lot of blood and gross out and stuff like that, which is all done great and they're done very, very well. But in terms of like, man, what sticks with me? It is usually something that's a little bit more psychological and like haunting. I mean, actually, my favorite probably is The Haunting, the original Haunting. So it's hard to say. It's whatever you're looking for. I mean, if that's your style of scary movie, then yeah, obviously, and it is super, super creative.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I have 2 ideas for NC commercials: Zoo Pals, paper animal plates, and Fushigi, a magic glass ball that you can't master.
Let's see, Zoo Pals. Oh, okay. I saw that one. How you spell the other one?
Fushigi.
Gee. Oh, okay. Is this like the David Bowie bar? Or how is this like?
I don't know.
In your hand? I don't know. I will check it out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. If MTV would bring back Celebrity Deathmatch, what celebrities would you match up in a fight? I think Russell Brand versus Jared Leto makes too much sense in my mind. Can we do anyone versus Jared Leto? Let's let Jared Leto get the crap beat out of him.
I'll say this: I guess he released a post of him looking over a script called Morbius 2. It's Morbid Time. That's pretty good.
Really, I thought it was very. I do not use this word lightly, Doug, because I hate when people describe things as this, but that was very cringy to me.
See, I like just the fact that he printed out
very
the script
cringy.
And he's like, yeah, I'm looking this over. Yeah. No, them re-releasing it in theaters.
Oh,
this will be a payday. That
beautiful.
Was cringy. That's like, oh man, you don't know.
It was justice, Doug. Did you see the math of it? Someone broke down some of the math. I
think I did. Yeah, it's like some sort of like just gigantic, huge number of like loss, right?
Well, no, it was just so it made about $300,000 this weekend, which it was in. If you assume it was in 1,000 theaters, which is what they said, if you assume each theater is split evenly in revenue, that means each theater made $300. Assuming that each ticket is like $12, that means 25 people per theater saw it this weekend,
which is still more than the people. Which is still more than the amount of people that saw it the first time, so I guess it paid off.
I guess so. Oh man, so great. Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. Hard to believe that Elmo once had a smoking grandmother voice back in the 80s.
Yeah, well, Heather, you were saying like they started the puppeteer was doing and then said, fuck this shit, and handed it over to Kevin Clash and said, you do it. And of course, turned it into like this phenomenon.
That's what Kermit Wazowski had told us, yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You know, with a name like Kermit Wazowski, I should have assumed
Mhm,
that'd be the
mhm.
person to tell us.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. What movie you don't have an interest in, yet turned out to be a decent movie after watching it? For example, I would say The Big Year. Who knew a comedy about birdwatching with Steve Martin, Owen Wilson, and Jack Black would be interesting?
All right, so I mean, mad unpopular opinion.
Great.
I thought Morbius was okay. I actually thought it was fine.
Great.
But
Great.
anyone that has problems with it, I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, what are you talking about? No, it's dumb. I just thought maybe because I'm comparing it to Venom and I wanted a monster movie out of Venom, I didn't get. This was much more of a monster movie, and I like monster movies with like mad scientists and stuff. So I actually thought it was all right. But yeah, I'm like one of what, like 5 critics that says that.
Aaliyah, thank you for the 90 bits. Hey, Doug, have you ever seen Scooby Doo Mysteries Inc.? I think it's the best Scooby Doo, period.
There's so many of them. Probably.
Scooby Doo Mystery Inc.
Let me see. Uh, this just looks like all the other ones. I'm just gonna say no. I haven't seen too many of those shows. I think a pup named Scooby Doo. I saw that, and then there's one where they had like celebrity guest stars, which I saw one or two of them. Like, you know, today's guest star Urkel, and they actually get like Julia White and stuff like that. Like, that's pretty funny. I like that. But aside from that, yeah, I haven't really seen many of the other shows.
Alan, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, any ideas for the theme month in March? I have 2 recommendations: Pirate Month or Jurassic Park Month.
We've already done most of the Jurassic Park movies. Yeah, in fact, what are there any we haven't done? This new one, I think, is it. Yeah. So
Oh, well, there
there
you
you go. Just I think we even have a compilation video. So there you go. There's your Jurassic month, and we're eyeing Pirate Month. I think that'd be an interesting one to do because enough time has passed, and that was one of those movies that just like took over the world for a while. So it'd be interesting to go over, you know, sort of the quality of them.
Yeah. Christop, thank you for the 100 bits. Another Jurassic question. Did you really not feel bad for the poor Brachiosaurus that died in the volcano in Fallen Kingdom? My guy, he didn't even try to kill or eat anybody.
It just felt so forced. I mean, but isn't that weird? Like all these things are trying to kill you, and literally the next scene, it's like, oh, those poor dinosaurs. It's like they tried to do the same thing in Lost World, and I'm just like, you have no idea how to pace this out so that it makes sense. Like, because there's definitely scenes in Jurassic Park where I'm like, oh, that poor dinosaur. Oh, and then you know, oh my God, run away from the T-Rex. But it's like they let there be space in between. You can breathe and not this thing's trying to kill us. Now feel bad for it. It's like that's not how it works.
Modika, thank you for the 50 bits. Are you still in touch with Jason and Jory from the Adventure Time blogs?
Oh yeah. They always do a Halloween party every year. We always go to that. Once in a while, I'll see them at like Brad will do a lot of the horror cons, so sometimes I'll drop by there, and they'll always be there as well. So yeah, no, we keep in touch.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. So they're making a Joker sequel titled Joker, Folly Adieu. I have one question. Why?
See, I thought your question was going to be who's playing Harley.
Ah!
That has to be what they're planning. Madness for 2? Like, that's gotta be what they're, because there's no reason to make a sequel. Like,
There
what would
really
you
is
even
not.
do? So that's the only thing I can figure that maybe they have in mind. Unless they grow up, you know, Batman, and that's like the Madness for 2. I don't know. But what, you'd have to make Joker older or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I could possibly see maybe having that work. And it's cool Todd Phillips directed such a good movie, but I mean, sequels are not his strong point. He did all the Hangover sequels, so I'm not that excited, but I am curious.
Yeah, I'm so it worked so well by itself. You're not gonna have
Yeah.
lightning strike twice. You're just not.
I mean,
Leave
I
it
don't-
alone, DC. I swear to Christ, leave it alone.
you have to be like a mad genius to figure out how to make that work. This is like one of those 1 in a million shit. This is like got to be like Godfather 2. Like,
Mhm.
how can you make this happen twice? So I don't know. I'm not super enthusiastic for it, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious.
Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. I have a feeling that Pinocchio is not going to have those great facial expressions during the donkey scene in the live action film. Until then, Dickie Jones nails that sequence.
Uh, yes, but I don't know, man. Zemeckis, nothing is subtle about Zemeckis, so I think you're gonna get, because I mean, remember, like the kid looks down and then he comes up and he's already a donkey. You know, Zemeckis is gonna do like the nose coming out, the teeth getting bigger, and the eyes and the ear. Like he's gonna milk that shit because that's what he does. And again, I'm weirdly looking forward to that. It's the one thing I forgot about that. I'm like, oh, that might be kind of fun seeing Zemeckis do something weird like that.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. A couple of days ago, my dad asked if I was thinking of going to see the new Jurassic Park movie, and I nearly threw up in my mouth and I told him no. Was there any film that made your stomach turn just thinking about it?
The remake of The Haunting. I really, as soon as I saw the trailer, we were like, oh, again, we love the original. I'm so glad Haunting a Hill House came out to sort of bring people back to that movie and that story and everything. Because a lot of people just knew the Catherine Zeta-Jones one. And it's just like, oh my God, like the original is the exact opposite. And it's so brilliant. And the show, for the most part, really brought that back. Or miniseries, I guess I should say. I guess that one. I'm sure there's out. Oh, Batman and Robin also. As soon as we saw the trailer for that, because at that point, like, I liked Batman Forever, but I was like, all right, I kind of know it's bad. It's a guilty pleasure. Okay, let's just see what the next one is. I'll go along with it. And as soon as we saw the trailer, my brother and I just looked at each other like, well, Batman's dead. Like, that just, like,
they've done it.
It wasn't the Joker, the Penguin, or Catwoman. It was Schumacher, man.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. They just dropped a trailer for a Netflix show called Intergalactic, and it looks gorgeous.
Intergalactic?
Yeah, this week is Netflix Geeked Week. So they're doing a lot of trailer releases and news relating to some of their more geeky material.
I saw another one. I'm Sea Beast, I think, or something like that. It's like the director of Moana and Big Hero 6. And it looked kind of standard, but like the animation's like gorgeous. So that I'm kind of looking for. And that's a Netflix one too. So I'm kind of looking forward to that.
LePew, thank you for the 50 bits. Professor Roos, and I think they meant Professor Doug. It just says Rofessor.
Professor!
Professor! Which of these is the proper terminology? Earthlings, Earthikins, or Earthers?
I always heard Earthlings.
Earthlings,
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Earthikins.
Earthers, I feel like I heard somewhere, but I don't know from what. It's like Third Rock or something. I don't know. I know I've heard that somewhere.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 150 bits. Okay, I got a shirt for you that would be great for Freak Show Cinema. Oh, short. I think it's supposed to be short. A Nickelodeon short by young people back in the 90s. Attack of the Giant Vulture. It terrified me when I was 4 years old. It's on YouTube.
Attack of the Giant Vulture.
Mm-hmm. It's a Nickelodeon short.
All right. Wait a minute. I remember seeing this. Okay, yeah, I kind of remember this. Yeah, this giant puppet running around, this guy like in a vulture suit. Yeah, and it has like this dark ending where they like just fucking kill it and eat it. It was really weird. That's right. It was made. That's right. It was made by like these little kids. They wrote in the story, and these adults obviously helped. I totally forgot about this. Okay, yeah, I actually really want to see this again.
Crush Level, thank you for the 50 bits. Does anyone else remember the Joker's brother, Melvin?
We're all trying to forget.
That was actually a fever dream. It doesn't exist. No, I'm just kidding. And I'm seeing a lot of new people in chat, so I just want to make sure everyone knows that we have priority right now on the bit messages, and I do have a list of the messages, so don't worry. I will see the message. We will get it read at the end of stream, probably in about like 40 minutes-ish. We'll have time to really look at the chat and look at highlighted messages, but we are giving priority to the bit messages. But I do see you out of the corner of my eye, chat. I see you, okay? You're there. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Which was more cringy, Leia making out with Luke or Marty's mom constantly throwing herself at him?
I mean, that one's funnier because they know. So Leia making out with Luke, I guess is funny because Luke has pretended to know, but he didn't know.
Mumra, thank you for the 50 bits. Do you think they didn't show Pinocchio alive in the trailer is because the effect isn't done? They are confident in the effect, or it's really just a teaser trailer and the effect is Gollum good?
I mean, I saw what the puppet looks like. Even if you did like the best effects, or you even had like an actual puppet moving around there, I still feel like it would look fake because it looks so cartoony.
Hmm.
So I can't see it looking that great, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it isn't quite done 100% yet. And also they are trying to be like, woo, go see the movie if you want to see Pinocchio. No.
I'm sure they're gonna show him in the trailer, like another
At
trailer
some
or
point.
something, or at the very least show a little bit of him.
Right. General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Last bits from me. I'm excited to see Lightyear. I consider Buzz to be one of my first superheroes. Who would you consider one of your first superheroes?
Oh, don't make me say this. My dad. If you want to know the truth, because he was in the Navy, and like you get dressed up like in the Navy outfit and everything, and when we go to like I don't know the Navy base and the Navy commissary or something, like people always had to salute him. He had to salute him back and stuff like that. I was just like, my papa's a hero. So I mean, just as soon as you say that's the first thing that popped up, and I was just like, all right, I'll give the cheesy answer.
I love that. Someone clip that and send it to Barney for Father's Day, please.
Right?
Crush Level, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey guys, what is a better circus movie? Greatest Showman or any Cirque du Soleil show?
I mean, the Cirque du Soleil are much better put together.
And they are actually a circus.
Yes. I mean, Greatest Showman is absolute trash, but it is some of the most enjoyable trash I've ever seen. It's a ton of fun.
It is so much fun, and I don't know why anyone would have thought that there was going to be even a modicum of truth in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you honestly, that's part of what's fun about it. It's just how removed from reality it is.
So removed from reality.
I had a great time with it.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. I know it's been a while since you did Dark Toons, but will you do specific scenes of the evil queen / the old peddler from Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? That totally scared me as a kid and even as an adult too, not gonna lie.
Again, if one of these days I'm gonna do that video about like emotional storytelling, and I'll work that in because that's a big part too. Is the villains in those movies. So at some point I'll talk about it.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Have any of you seen the movie called Lucy? It's about Scarlett Johansson gets ultra high and Morgan Freeman tells us we don't use 100% of our brains.
I remember seeing the trailer, but I never did see the movie. It sounds a little interesting. It looked a little interesting because I think that's Luc Besson, right? I mean,
I'm not
even
sure.
if it's good or bad, it's always interesting. So maybe I should check it out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. When the Multiverses game finally comes out, what kind of records do you think it will break? I'm not sure if it will break any records, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't guess that. I'm sure it'll do fine.
I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so
yeah,
it'll have a lot of downloads, but...
Yeah, that'd be my guess. But again, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't keep too big a track on online, so I could be right. I mean, you probably know more than I do, Heather.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know it was popular even just for the closed alpha to get in, but like, I don't know if it's going to break any records, honestly.
We'll see.
Trulius, thank you for the 75 bits. Who would you say is your favorite new director of the last 10 years and why? That's a good question.
There's some that I say are really challenging what you can do with film. You know, I mean, I will say if it counts, I mean, kind of producing team as well as directing, but Lord and Miller, I think are doing, like in the mainstream, are doing some really fascinating stuff.
Interesting.
I'm blanking on its name, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, I can't remember his name. Chad, help me out. But he does some really fascinating stuff. Edgar Wright, thank you, does some really interesting stuff. I mean, the ones I still lump together because I'm like, man, when they direct something, it is so intriguing and so different. Julie Taymor, Spike Jonze, Charlie Kaufman, and still David Lynch when he does something. I think
Mm,
they'll just do something that is so different and so unique and just really questions the way I kind of look at movies. And I love directors who can do that.
cool. Matt Hannah, thank you for the 50 bits. I'd rather show my kids the first 5 seasons of Thomas the Tank Engine than Caillou. At least the characters have more charm than that whiny brat.
I hear a lot of people like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh,
Like the
yeah.
show is actually like really, really good. I feel bad because I know I will never have time to watch it. But I trust everyone when they say like it was a legit good show.
Yeah, no, totally. And like, there's shows like that though that are evergreen. You know what I mean? Like, people are
Mm,
always showing their kids Thomas the Tank Engine. Like,
yeah.
people always will watch things like Tom and Jerry or whatever with their kids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's some of that stuff that's evergreen.
Yeah. I
Mr.
make that,
Rogers,
yeah.
like,
I make that comparison with Garfield because I say, can a character be too big to fail? Where even if they have like several failures in a row, it's not going to hurt their sales. People are still going to watch it, like Bugs Bunny or Woody
mhm.
Woodpecker or Popeye, all that stuff. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. My nieces and nephews watch Paw Patrol, PJ Masks, and Good Witch. I wound up liking it because Catherine Bell from JAG is on it and I like her. And that's better than Caillou. There's a lot of modern shows better than Caillou.
I was going to say, from what I hear, I
A
think
lot.
everything's better than Caillou.
PJ Masks is not my favorite. One of my nephews is into PJ Masks. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Well, it's not Caillou.
As long as it's not Caillou. No, the only annoying thing I had to watch today is Blippi. He's like
Blippi.
a YouTuber. He's not terribly annoying. Not the worst person in the world for the kids to watch, but
But not your thing.
not my thing. I'd rather watch more Bluey than more Blippi. DHL, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Alex the Animator.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. KP Kruk, thank you for the 50 bits. A guilty pleasure film of mine I think you should review is McHale's Navy, starring Tom Arnold. Tim Curry plays the villain, and he's a joy to see go nuts in it. Plus, a good bonus is Bruce Campbell is part of McHale's crew.
I always forget that movie exists, and then when people say who's in it, I remember Tom Arnold, yeah, Tim Curry, and then I think Bruce Campbell brought that up, like I think in his autobiography or something, and I was just like, oh yeah, he's in that too. So I've never seen it, so maybe I should check it out.
Yeah. Crush Level, thank you so much for gifting that sub to NZ Multiverse. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather and Doug, what was the best/worst kill in Doctor Strange 2? Well, we don't want to give spoilers away.
We don't have to say who dies, just how.
Mhm.
The one, because it was technically they show nothing. It's just what it implies, and it's like so horrifying.
Mhm.
Without giving away too much, something exploding inside a person's head.
Mhm. Mhm.
That, I mean, the whole audience just went, oh, at that, and nothing was shown.
Yeah.
It was just implied, and it's
Yeah.
just like, oh.
Also, though, we just talked about this on Awesome Comics. The Doctor Strange is coming to Disney Plus in like 2 weeks, like June 20th or something. So it's coming soon. If you didn't have a chance to see it in theaters, it is coming soon to Disney Plus in a couple of weeks. So
I'm probably gonna check that out a couple times when it comes to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Since you only like the original Jurassic Park movie, what would a live-action Dino Riders movie be in your opinion? In my opinion, it will be better than the actual cartoon series.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember the cartoon that well. I remember the toys. The toys are really cool. It's just something that gets, just the ending of Jurassic World just put some people riding them. That's it. Just that throughout the whole movie. I'd be satisfied.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. What about Alien Month? Alien and Aliens, Prometheus and Alien Covenant? I would be totally down for NC Alien and especially Aliens review.
I wrote it down because somebody recommended it before, and I was like, well, yeah, I guess I have done quite a few of them. It would make sense to do more because I never did see Covenant. I heard it's really bad. And Prometheus, I could get some jokes out of. So maybe. I don't think it'd be next month, but maybe one of the upcoming months.
Modica, thank you for the 50 bits. Are you open to having guests on the Untitled Review Show?
Never thought about it. I guess if one offered, would see if I could make it work, like fit it in somehow. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Modica, thank you for the 50 bits. Apparently, originally the role of Doc Holliday in Tombstone was going to be played by Willem Dafoe. You think he would have worked in that role?
I don't know how well you have gotten the accent. And I love Willem Dafoe. He's not terrible at accents, but he's not great either. Everything else I could very much see working. Oh shit, I'm just imagining that movie now. Yeah, it's like, but Kilmer got that voice surprisingly so well, because you think that'd be like a cartoon character voice, but it so works in that movie, and his performance is so great. But yeah, I could see Defoe working, and I think, was it Randy Quaid? Or Dennis Quaid? Which one's the serious one? I forget. I think it's Dennis Quaid. He played him in Wyatt Earp, the Kevin Costner film. He did a very good job too. A lot of people say actually he was probably more faithful to what Doc Holliday was really like. And they're both very, very good, but Kilmer's is clearly more entertaining.
Stutch Zula, thank you so much for that $5. We really appreciate that. Hi, Doug. Me and my cousin Conlin have watched you for almost a decade now and love your show. If you could have a Star Wars spin-off show, what would you want to see?
I just want a show around that bar that B. Arthur was running, man. I'd love to see that character there and all these different aliens coming in and everything. I mean, they were talking for a while about doing like a Mos Eisley show. I get the feeling that's what the Boba Fett show was gonna be, because they pulled the plug out, I think, after Solo didn't do so well. But yeah, because I'm looking at like, man, this really is about like just what's happening on that planet and kind of around Mos Eisley. So I'm kind of like, I wonder if that was the idea. I wonder if it's just gonna be called that. But no, I think if you do something like that and make it kind of like a Sin City style show where it's just like all the badasses and outcasts and stuff and criminals, like I think that could be pretty fun.
Math God, I was laughing about the same thing. Sailor Aaron,
What?
You said Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boba Fett. Like, yeah. You know, I shorten it Bob.
Bob.
What's your name? You know, Boba Fett. But people call me Bob. It's a Chicago thing.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 180 bits. Also, I'm planning to go to Massachusetts in July to see my mom's side of the family up north. It's been 3 years. It's time, and I'm so excited.
Oh, that's awesome, man. It'll be great to see him again.
Yeah, that's really nice. My mom is seeing my brother right now in North Carolina, and I wish I was there.
I appreciate you here, Heather.
JT, thank you for the 50 bits. If we're talking Joel Schumacher movies, his 1992 film Falling Down starring Michael Douglas is actually very good if neither of you have seen it before. It actually kind of blows my mind that this is the same director of Batman and Robin. Even Michael Douglas himself said that this movie was the best script that he had ever read.
It is so good. It really, and I try, whenever I talk about Schumacher and I try to say, look, the guy can direct a good movie and everything, like that's one of the first ones I go to. That's probably his best, because it's so clever, because you start out like, oh, am I supposed to sympathize with this guy? And then you're watching like, you know, yeah, I'm on this guy's side. Yeah. And then it slowly reveals, oh no, he's crazy. No, you're not supposed to be on this guy's side. And then it's just kind of playing, well, how crazy is he and how much do I sympathize with him and don't sympathize? It's so good. But it's also legit funny too. It's actually kind of a good comedy.
Crushed Level, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, I've got something for you. Do 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 do. Oh, all right.
I got a cat in my lap, man. I'm gonna throw him a second ago. You don't want that.
No, not Chaplin. Not Chaplin.
Throw him Buster to get rid of both of them.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 50 bits. Something that would be good for Freak Show Cinema, or was that real, is the incredible Crash Test Dummies TV special, which aired on Fox Kids. It was made as the height of the Crash Test Dummies toy line, and I guess it was supposed to be a pilot for a series?
We saw that. It's funny because we really got into the Crash Test Dummy toys for the reasons that we said in that commercial special because we're sick, and just seeing cars crash and limbs fly, we're like, yay! Like, because of course, to like a 12-year-old boy, we're gonna be like, awesome. So we thought the show, we're like, oh well, they have to know what they're doing. This is gonna be great. It's just them like flying apart or whatever, some good humor, and it was awful. It was so terrible. So yeah, maybe it might be interesting to talk about. Yeah, I haven't seen that since literally it came out.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Idea for a Halloween month. Malcolm being super creepy and saying stuff like, want some coffee? Or have you heard the news? But in a super creepy way. And no one notices or says anything.
We'll think about it. That would be unique.
Kermit Wazowski in chat, Chaplin, I'm a projectile. Silent, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Channel Awesome crew, longtime watcher since the early 2010s here. Happy to watch you on Twitch. Has anyone seen Taika Waititi's movie and eventual TV show, What We Do in the Shadows? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I love it. I think I like the show more, but I remember the movie being very funny. And I'm trying to think if I think we finished the last season. Yeah. Just great casting, great writing. Just those characters are so entertaining. It's like Bob's Burgers if they were all vampires. It just has that type of humor.
I haven't watched What We Do in the Shadows yet, and I really need to.
You would like it. You'd really like it.
When I was in quarantine for COVID, I did watch Our Flag Means Death. Have you watched that on HBO Max yet?
No. Is it good?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
It's one of those where I saw the trailer. It's another one where I'm like, it's either gonna be really good or really bad. So it's knowing it's good,
yes,
I'll try to check it out.
It's like it's pirates, but it
like with PR, right? That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
You'll enjoy it, I think. Our Flag Means Death was really fun.
Yeah.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. I remember one episode of Caillou where he's riding in a car, looks out the window and says, "Mommy, the ground is moving." Even when I was a little kid, I remember thinking, why should I care about this?
I mean, I think that speaks for itself.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Not gonna lie, I would love to see Michael Bay direct a G.I. Joe movie starring Tom Cruise, Dwayne Johnson, Chris Pratt, John Cena, and Kurt Russell.
Was Dwayne Johnson not in one? Why do I think he was in one?
A G.I. Joe movie?
Yeah, well, get him in there too, I guess. And Sergeant Slaughter, come on, he's still around. He's
You're
still
right.
kicking.
He is. Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. My brother's been playing Grand Theft Auto 4. It's our personal favorite. What do you guys think about Grand Theft Auto? Have you played any of the games?
Very, very. I mean, God, I think first one I played is probably the first one where you're like looking overhead and stuff like that. And I think I played like a little bit like somebody's house or something, but I mean like very, very little. I don't know a ton about. I know more about what I've heard about on the news, about like people being upset about the games than what actually happens in the games.
Yeah, I have never played a Grand Theft Auto game either. I wasn't allowed to when I was younger, and actually this is a quick funny story. When my mom first got us a console, the very first console we ever got as kids was a Dreamcast, a Sega Dreamcast. And when she went to get it at GameStop, the guy first of all, convinced her to get a Dreamcast instead of a PS2 because he was like, the Dreamcast is the future, which, fine, whatever. I was very mad. I thought we were getting a PS2. But the guy at the counter told her, was like, oh, some of the best games you can get are Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Sonic Adventure 2. So those are the two games we got with our Dreamcast. Except I, at the time, was a 12-year-old. And if you know me now, I'm still a lawful good. So 13-year-old Heather, maybe 14, I don't know.
You're playing it like this?
I was old enough to be like, Mom, because it was technically for my younger brothers. It was technically for my 6-year-old little brother. And I was like, Mom, I don't think you know how to read these. It's rated T for teen. And the boys can't play this. My brothers can't play this. And she returned it. But then I played myself because she also returned our copy of Tony Hawk Pro Skater because it was rated T for teen because of the music.
Hey, what? I mean, Grand Theft Auto was only T? I thought it'd be like M.
Maybe it was M.
Huh.
It may have been M, but I was just such a little tattletale, such a little narc. I was like, Mom, we can't play this game. Did you look?
I hope you never told your brothers that. They'd be like, what the hell?
Oh, no, I did. They knew.
They must have loved you.
Because they opened it and they were like, where is it? And I was like, Mom took it back to GameStop. You're not old enough.
Crazy Taxi was pretty good on that port.
Ooh, I was obsessed with Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes, yes. Modica, thank you for the 50 bits. Fun fact, both Dennis and Randy Quaid played Doc Holliday, Dennis in Wyatt Earp, and Randy in a TV film titled The Purgatory.
No shit. Huh. It's kind of funny.
That is a fun fact, indeed. Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Might be me, but I think Jaleel White as Shadow the Hedgehog and Scarlett Johansson as Rogue the Bat for a Sonic 3 movie. Thoughts?
I guess that's been going around. I think that'd be great.
I love the idea of Jaleel White as Shadow. I think that's so fun.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. In terms of like the next character they introduce, I know they'll want to do like more of the video game character. I think after the third movie, you got to go into the Sad AM. You got to do like Sally or something like that. Like you got to start getting like those characters in. Because I think after Shadow, I'm sure like the diehard fans know the other characters, but I feel like the average viewer doesn't remember. I mean, was the one you named like Blank the Bat or whatever?
Rogue the Bat. You don't know Rogue the Bat?
Like, I don't think. I mean, I know you do, and a lot of Sonic fans do, but I think the average person like knows usually up to Shadow. So I don't know if they just went to the Sad AM characters. I think like people wouldn't lose their mind. But you know what? Maybe people that don't know Rogue the Bat won't know Sally or any of those characters either, the more I think about it. So yeah, okay, so stick to the formula.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Seriously, Doug, why is Worthless a bop to end all bops?
Right? Yeah, it gets in your head, man. It's like super, super catchy. Yeah, even before I did that review, like I just got like recording of it. I play in my car every once in a while because it's like super, super catchy.
Huh. Macbeth says Mandela Effect, only GTA 2 came out on Dreamcast. Really? Maybe it was for... Because we did end up getting a PS2. I don't know. At some point, I made my mom return it to Grand Theft Auto.
At some point, you narked.
At some point, I narked and made my mom return a Grand Theft Auto that my brothers got for Christmas, because my brothers are younger than I am. CM Waters, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you ever met someone who loved Lion King 2019? By the way, I loved Lion King 2019.
Oh, I mean... Whatever you like. I mean, don't let me, influence you in any way. When we saw it at the theater, people applauded. I mean, so there were folks that liked it, but yeah, we sure did. Which is weird because nobody was like laughing or crying or cheering or anything until the end credits. Although maybe that's telling us like it's over. Thank God. I don't know.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 50 bits. With all this talk about Caillou and other kid shows, I'm curious what everyone's favorite kid shows are that you can enjoy just as much as an adult. For me, Bear in the Big Blue House holds up really well.
Okay, so I think they're talking about like little
yeah,
kid
like
shows,
little
kid
kid
like
shows.
There's a ton.
No, like preschool shows.
I mean, Mr. Rogers is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes Sesame Street is entertaining too.
I used to watch Bear in the Big Blue House with my little brother when I was way too old to be doing it. That's a great show.
I always hear VeggieTales is great.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never seen that one.
VeggieTales is great. Blue's Clues is another fun one that I probably watched when I was too old. Sesame Street feels like it never gets old. Genuinely, I know I've mentioned it like 3 times this stream, Bluey is like the best new preschool kid show to come out in a very long time. I genuinely enjoy watching Bluey with my nieces and nephews. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I used to know more when I used to teach, like, I used to work at preschool day camp. I used to know more like kid shows, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they're all grown up.
Yeah. Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Is there a movie you really loved, but there was one character who you found super unlikable? Not necessarily to the point where it ruined it for you, but enough to take it down a notch. For me, Carey Mulligan's character from Inside Llewyn Davis annoyed the crap out of me. Great movie, though.
Man, I'm sure there is. For some reason, what's popping in my head, I don't know if this is the best example. There's a movie called Be Cool. It was like a sequel to Get Shorty. And the movie's okay. It's fine. It's no Get Shorty, but it's okay. But Vince Vaughn in that movie is so annoying. And it would be so easy to make this character funny because he's playing, they say, oh yeah, he thinks he's a black guy and he's wearing the clothes, like, hey, what's going on? Hey. And it's like, come on, that should just be funny so easily. And it was so obnoxious and just so like, every time he talked, it just hurt. So that's popping in my head. I'm sure there's others, but for some reason, that's the only one that's in there.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, do you think there could be some negative repercussions if somebody watched only comedic works and literally no dramatic works, to watch nothing but stuff like Rat Race and nothing like Requiem for a Dream?
What to Rat Race for a Dream? Combine them. I mean, I guess like anything, yeah. I mean, balance is usually a good thing to have.
Right.
If life was nothing but comedy, then maybe, but it's a lot of things. It's everything, isn't it? So, yeah, I think a good variety is healthy.
Variety is indeed the spice of life.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know what you're missing unless you see what you're missing. I had something there and then it failed. I'm sorry.
It's a Zen riddle, kind of. You got the doesn't make sense part down.
Okay. Right, yeah. Freddie Hines Voices, thank you for the 500 bits. Appreciate that. Thank you. Johnny Depp for Shadow. LOL JK. Great review, man, and great cast. You guys have an awesome, tight-knit crew. Quick question. What are your guys' thoughts on adult animation getting more attention now? Do you think it'll last?
I think it goes through peaks and valleys, as a lot of people like to bring up. I mean, I always say, like on Dark Toons, I say this was for kids, and a lot of people would say no, they were for kids and adults at the time. And it's like, yes, I mean they are right because it was such a spectacle to see animation back then. But there wasn't as big a push, like pushing the envelope to make it more adult, if that makes sense. There's always kind of this idea of like, oh, if we can make it for adults too, like make it something really entertaining for them to see, that'd be great. But there wasn't like, you're not going to see Mickey Mouse saying any swear words or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you do see Disney do something like that, whether back then or now, that's great. The big thing I like to see come back, which maybe they are, I thought I heard talk about it, is 2D hand-drawn animation come back. That's what I really like to see make a resurgence, because even though CG is phenomenal, I mean, it's amazing what they've done with it. There's still something quietly amazing about a hand-drawn that just nothing can really duplicate.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like it's an ongoing trend at this point. Like, it's been almost decades now that adult animation as we know it has been kind of getting this attention. And I don't think it's going to go anywhere as long as we keep getting good shows that are constantly evolving the medium. You know what I mean? Like something like BoJack Horseman that just came out. When did BoJack come out? Like 7 years ago?
Well, Begun? Yeah, like 7, 8 years ago. Something
right.
Like that.
Like that never could have come out like 15 years ago. But like things just keep popping up that are innovating the genre. And as long as that keeps happening, we're going to keep seeing people be drawn to that, if that makes sense.
Well, that's interesting how like even kids films, like, like we got Minions 2 coming out. And even though that's technically like a family movie, it's expected to have a lot of jokes for adults in there. Like you'd have to be insane to release an animated film that's only for kids. Now it's like it has to be for everyone. Like that's the target because you want people to come back. So that's nice. That is really nice to see.
Modika, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, out of you and Rob, which one is Mary-Kate and which one is Ashley? And is there a third Walker sibling? And Elizabeth Olsen to your Mary-Kate and Ashley?
Fuck, you took my answer. I was gonna say I'm Elizabeth.
I honestly don't know. I should know because
I don't know the difference between them.
I don't either. I don't either.
I lived through when that was a huge craze, and I
Yep.
didn't know the difference. So
I went through it when it was a huge craze as a twin myself, and I'm pretty sure I used to know, like, who is the Mary Kate and who is the Ashley. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we kind of maybe used to know, and I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Now, in terms of which Backstreet Boy we are, that I also can't tell you.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. What would you say, is the funniest episode of Rick and Morty? Not necessarily the best, just the one that made you laugh the most consistently. For me, it's a toss-up between the Parasite episode and the Keep Summer Safe episode.
That one's pretty, man, like, objectively the funniest. I mean, I hate to say it, the first episode back with the Szechuan sauce and stuff, as obnoxious as that became, that episode really is brilliant. I mean, it really is like a phenomenal episode. I won't say Pickle Rick, even though I did think that was very funny, but it's like, okay, this is, it's almost like we know we're clever and we're going to be super clever with it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, it's not quite as clever as you think, but it was very good. I really liked it. My personal favorite is the one that's is satirizing anthology stories. That was brilliant.
Okay.
And the one satirizing heist movies, because both of them are trying to one up each other so much throughout the whole thing. Or and then the other one where which one's the real family? There's so many decoy families that the whole episode is all the decoy families killing each other, thinking they're the real family, and you have to guess which one is the real family. Like stuff like that, where you don't know what reality is and you don't know what's coming next, are so good because you think that would play out so quickly and would get old and you could predict it, but they somehow keep switching it up. So yeah, stuff like that I think is really, really good.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Last bits from me. I got both of Mando's ship from The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Now I'm thinking to combine them like Green Goblin Glider could in the Spider-Man, the animated series, and toys. Think it's a good idea?
Yeah, put Mando and Boba Fett on top, like riding them like the Green Goblin, Hobgoblin. There you go.
Yeah, why not? Why not? They're Legos, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, so
you know
they
what?
literally connect, even better.
They didn't actually say that. I don't know why I assumed it was Legos. I just read it again. They did not say that. But go ahead.
They would connect easier.
You know what? It would connect. Like, do whatever you want with your toys. They're your toys. You're an adult. You paid for it. Do what you want with it.
It's your painting. You paint whatever you want.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Can I tell you guys something strange about me? One of my favorite locations to soak it in is industrial settings. Stuff like factories, automotive plants. I find these places to be oddly serene.
Because everything's always, there's an order to it, there's a pattern, it always keeps going and stuff. And I can see it's almost like watching a robotic river.
Yeah.
It's always going to be going down. There's always going to be a stream and always moving. So I guess I can see that.
There's definitely some comfort in the repetition. So
when I was a kid, I really liked stuff like that too. I like watching factories and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, and that's actually all the bits, so we got time for some highlighted messages.
Let's do it.
Oh, Crush Level, thank you for the 50 bits. Chaplain, I'm a carrot. Great. I'm gonna...
A catrit, if you will.
Ooh, there you go. I scrolled kind of up for this one. But Pansexual Panda Bear asks, hey Doug, if a fan wanted to tour of the Channel Awesome Studios, would that be welcomed, or is that not something that you'd want to invite?
We're gonna do it after we all die and it turns into a museum.
I love it. Great. Good answer. Good answer.
Well, our ghosts will try to stay there, but we can't make any promises because we don't know what happens when we die.
I don't want to live there though, and my second life is...
Yes, you do.
You're right. You're right. We got cool stuff there. I do. I want to live in our Xbox forever. No, I'm just kidding. J-Star says, speaking of children's shows, apparently parents who let their kids watch Peppa Pig but don't talk to them enough, those kids grew to develop British accents because Peppa Pig is British. It was legit a thing. It was called Peppa Pig syndrome. J-Star is not making it up. I swear to God. As someone in the education sphere, I swear to God it was a thing.
When we were in like our... I don't know, like 11, 12, 10, something like that. We started watching some British show. We got into like Blackadder and Red Dwarf and Monty Python and stuff. And sometimes we would speak in a British accent a little bit, just because it sounded funny. So I can see that. Little kids like growing up with that, I can totally see that.
Pansexual Panda Bear says, "Hey Doug, is there a great movie that you really love, but it has one scene that you absolutely hate? For me, it's Pulp Fiction, and it's the Tarantino cameo scene."
I mean, he is usually the worst part of his own movies. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
Uh, I don't, because I don't hate this scene, but it doesn't get better the more I watch it. The climax to the Batman, I don't think is particularly good. But nothing is ruined. But every time I watch it, I just notice like another problem. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you kind of think like, oh, this will get better with a second viewing. And it's like, nah, that just kind of gets worse. But it doesn't destroy the movie by any means.
Lord R. Wolfen says, "Hey, about the upcoming live-action Avatar The Last Airbender Netflix series. It's going to have 8 one-hour episodes, with each episode having a $15 million budget."
I hope it's good, but
It's not going to be.
Yeah, it's not gonna be.
It's not. It's not. I say that simply because
I can't see that working. And I think what you were saying, Heather, maybe it's what you were gonna say too, is if they did different stories, maybe.
yeah.
But just taking it from animation, putting it in live action, it's so perfectly suited for animation. Yeah.
For me, I instantly lost faith in it because we've talked about the show a couple of times on Awesome Comics and Coffee. I completely lost faith in it when the original creators of the show left because of creative differences.
Yeah,
like,
that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
No $15 million budget is gonna fix that.
Yeah. I just don't, and again, maybe there's some creative geniuses there, like just thinking out of the box, absolute Einsteins that like we wouldn't have predicted. But it's like I just don't see how they'd be able to pull that off. I don't even see how you do a movie. Everyone yells at Shyamalan, but it's like it was doomed from the start.
It was.
You can't do it.
Truly. And Power Gamer, I do agree. The cast does actually look pretty good, though. The cast looks nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll at least have something. I don't.
I mean, the cast of Cowboy Bebop was pretty good too.
That's true.
Yeah.
JT, thank you for the 50 bits. Watch Tarantino's final film be a live-action adaptation of Dr. Seuss's The Foot Book. Lol, kidding. But seriously, I can't help but wonder what his 10th and supposedly final film will be.
Somewhere he said he always wanted to do a Star Trek movie, which, with the way Star Trek apparently is now, I would love to see that.
Why not?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what he has him. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing too. He does just kind of do whatever he wants, and that is kind of awesome. So yeah, we'll see.
That would be hilarious, though. Paramount Plus finally coughing up the money for a Tarantino Star Trek and being like, please, God, it's our last-ditch effort. Buy Paramount Plus so you can watch this movie, please.
That would be the only thing to get me to purchase Paramount Plus.
Modika, thank you for the 50 bits. Speaking of Avatar, I've heard 2 interesting ideas for new shows. One with cyberpunk setting and one with Avatar as the villain. That could be interesting.
Okay, so not Aang, just the Avatar.
An Avatar.
The next Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay, and the cyberpunk setting's kind of cool too. Like after Korra, like the next one, like it's kind of a cool idea. Yeah, why isn't Netflix making that show?
Yeah, right? Freddie Hines, thank you for the 200 bits. Do you guys ever have casting calls for voiceovers for your skits projects, or will it be considered in the future? Also, if you like Gravity Falls, definitely recommend Amphibia. The voiceover work is incredible. I'm a voice actor, so I'm kind of obsessed with cartoons.
Yeah, I just got done with season 1. I'm watching it for Disney December, so yes, I'm watching that right now. And I mean, most of the voice acting, we got a pretty good variety of actors here, so we're mostly covered. But if there's something where it's just like, nah, we can't do this, man, we got to outsource. I mean, we'll find some way to do it.
Aussie Manny just says purple message in all caps, so I had to shout. So
thank you.
Great. Oliver Dreamwalker says, Doug, in case you haven't checked out Sonic Adventure 2 to get to know about Shadow the Hedgehog, here's a very short summary about him. Shadow was created as the ultimate life form by Dr. Eggman's grandfather, Professor Gerald Robotnik, through genetic engineering as part of an experiment to cure his granddaughter Maria from a deadly illness.
Oh, well, now I know. And that's apparently half the battle.
There you go. Dom Klein says, when Indiana Jones 5 comes out, you have to review Crystal Skull with Brad. I love the Temple of Doom review you guys did, and I actually like that movie. Also, when are we getting Jim as Jared Leto as Morbius?
I think I did just put down, I told our people, like, yeah, go ahead and get Morbius when it comes out. We'll probably do a review. Because I don't know. I gotta just put my point of view out there as the NC just to be like, eh. But I mean, it's also very easy to get laughs from it. I mean, like I said, I thought it was okay, but I'm not gonna pretend like, no, this is great and there's nothing bad about it. No, you can get a ton of laughs out of it. So it's not a bad idea. I cover him up with the beard and everything. I'm kind
of yeah, 100%. Jim playing Jared Leto playing Morbius would be amazing.
Yeah.
Matt Gamer asks, how is Buster doing, Doug? Wish him the best.
Good. He's playing a lot more now, which is nice. Because he wasn't playing much when he had his leg injury, and then he wasn't playing much after the surgery. I mean, both understandable, but we were kind of like, oh, is this just like the end of playing? Is he just not going to be into it anymore? And now he's really starting to get into it again. He's so light, though. We're trying to feed him like so much more because he's not eating as much. So we're trying to give him like a lot more treats at night. Whenever I pick him up, it's like nothing, and we're like, oh, eat more, buddy, come on, eat more treats. I'm
really surprised when you've said the word treats repeatedly. Chaplin didn't come out of nowhere and was like, I heard treats.
He is, that's mean. They are so dumb. Buster and Chaplin, I love them to death. They are so stupid. Every night, I give him a treat at night to teach him not to go in the bedroom. Chaplin gets it in his head. He has to go in the bedroom and then leave in order to get the treat, which is like, okay, as long as he leaves. But now it's like he'll go in there and I have to like push him out. Okay, he's being pushed out. And I'm going to get the treat. I'm like, come on, Chaplin, come on. Buster's coming. And Chaplin's like, let me see where this is going. And it's like, it's going the same place it does every single night, you fucking idiot. And then when he hears the package open, he's like, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay. And it's like, God, you're so stupid.
Oh.
I love them, but they're so dumb.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Don't writers, producers, etc. behind movies slash TV realize how it sounds when they use their excuse creative differences? What differences could anyone really have in a project?
To their credit, and that is usually a bad sign, but Ben Affleck left The Batman because of creative differences. That movie's pretty fucking good. So every once in a while that can happen, and it really is just creative differences. So I will admit it's rare, and especially when the creators of the project are leaving their project, a remake of their project, that's usually not a good sign, but it does happen, and the project can, honestly, it happens more often than you think. That it really is a collaborative effort a lot of the time, and stuff is reworked and remade. I mean, Disney movies, for God's sakes. I mean, look at the making of Frozen, of Emperor's New Groove, and so many of those films, like what they were supposed to be. And they are very, very different. Beauty and the Beast, they like scrapped the whole movie and started from scratch again. And that's a brilliant movie. So it happens more often than you would think.
Monica, thank you for the 50 bits. I agree with your policy on long messages. I can't stand all those stories that don't go anywhere. Like the time I caught the ferry to Shelbyville, I needed a new heel for my shoes, so I decided to go to Morganville, which is what they call Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now to take the ferry costs a nickel, and in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 Bs for a quarter, you'd say.
I mean, it's even funnier because I bet you don't even get this reference.
Sorry, no.
It's a Simpsons reference, that's why.
That's why.
Yeah. But no, it took me a minute. When I heard tied an onion to my belt, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, this is really funny. It's one of Grandpa Simpson's, like, rambles.
Amazing. Amazing. Beautiful. I'm sorry, I
also good.
Don't know
Reddit,
Simpsons.
great.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Fifth Element review was tight. The 90s were tight.
Yeah.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Can you recall an instance on TV or a movie where someone saying "shut up" was never funny? Because "shut up" is the funniest phrase ever. Don't at me.
It's pretty good. I'm trying to think of, it's funny. The Cosmonaut Variety Hour, he brought up a cliche that's used way too much, and he is right, but it always gets a laugh out of me. I love it when something scary approaches, a character screams, "Ah!" and then the scary thing goes, "Ah!" screams right back. I don't know why that always gets a laugh out of me, and I hate that it always works. Even in Doolittle, when that happened, I'm like, "Oh, that's funny. God damn it."
It's definitely 100,000% the 10 years of teaching background for me, but I hate shut up.
Yeah.
Anytime my kids were like, "Shut up, Ryan," I'd be like, "No, we use kind words here, Kevin."
That's what you say. Shut up, Kevin.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 300 bits. Appreciate that. Also, we're at a hype train again. Woo woo. Thank you. My cat Bonnie is improving little by little, but she is having issues with her right paw and the litter box. If it gets worse, I'll take her to the vet again.
Ooh, man, you don't want to have issues with the litter box.
No.
Yeah, well, I hope she gets better, man. Yeah, just all my best to her.
Freddie Hines, thank you for the 55 bits. Last bits, just remembered, is that Don Bluth movie based on Dragon's Lair coming out or in production?
I know, so I didn't keep up too closely with it. I know that he got like the I don't know what you call it, the proof of concept film made. You know, to like take to studios and get made and stuff like that. I know that got made. After that, I'm not sure. I guess you just have to ask him because I haven't seen any other project come out from him. So I'm not sure. It was amazing to do that. It was amazing to like talk to him and do the interview. I mean, guys, it's like talking to one of your heroes, and he did a drawing for me. It was so phenomenal. But you know, we're not like besties. We're not like, you know, calling each other on the phone all the time or anything. So I'm really not sure. Yeah, you'd have to check with him.
Kin of Grim, thank you for the 100 bits. I wish most animations stayed 2D, anime and Disney.
When you take a character, they do this in Chip and Dale, when you 3D animate a character, you put the lines on him, that's where I'm really having trouble. Because that just does not look alive, like, at all to me. You have to really add some other layers to it, like what they did in Spider-Verse. You know, there's a lot of different layers and techniques and stuff, so it isn't just CG, it isn't just hand-drawn, it's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, and I'm seeing that more and more in anime, and I hate the way it looks. Maybe we can get better at it. You know, we probably will, honestly, but man, we're just not there yet. And even Flash animation, honestly, has come a long way, but there's still something to doing an individual drawing. The more you do that, the more alive it's going to look if it's hand drawn. If you take a drawing and move it around with a computer, it's just not going to look alive. It's going to look like a drawing that's being moved around, where with 3D, you can do that. You make the model, you just move it around. It's like a puppet. It's a different art form, but 2D doesn't work that way.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bits of the night. Last night for game night, my family and I played Toe Jam and Earl. It's a totally cool 90s game. Have you played Toe Jam and Earl, Doug and Heather?
Man, a little bit when it first came out. I just remember the design of them. I remember they look very 90s. They got like the shades and the backward hats and everything. But I don't remember if it was good or bad. I guess I don't remember bad talk about it, so must have been okay.
Modika, thank you for the 50 bits. Apparently Ryan Reynolds got involved in the Dragon's Lair movie, and it's going to be live action and on Netflix.
Okay, is it never? Because I heard something about that, about Ryan Reynolds doing a Dragon's Lair movie. I mean, I hope if they're doing that, I hope he's playing Dirk, because he really looks like Dirk. He looks like the main character.
Yeah,
so that might be fun. If he's doing it, I'd be curious to see what they do. It would be cool if somehow they worked Don Bluth into that. I don't know how. It's Ryan Reynolds. He can find a way.
I'm sure. Power Gamer says, "Hey guys, my friend's bakery burned down last night. Now his business is toast." Let the anger flow. R-Red says, "Doug, I don't know if you had been talking about the TV series or the movie in the previous stream, but apparently the Drawn Together movie is horrendous."
I'm trying to think if I've seen the movie. I saw the show. The show was very hit and miss. That's another example of like trying to use shock humor, and half of it works and half of it doesn't. And man, when it doesn't work, it is so painful. But I guess I give credit to them taking a risk. I mean, they were taking a lot of risk with it, but I'm just like, oh man, when shock humor is just not funny, it's one of the most painful things. But I remember getting some real laughs from that show too. There was some legit really good comedy in there as well.
Aussie Manny says, Doug, have your opinions changed at all about the Wall movie?
I mean, I like it.
Right.
I always say at the end, I turn to the camera and I say I like it. But I guess that's a reflection on me, on I guess what a poor job I did if I'm doing a review and I couldn't get that across. No, I wanted to go very abstract with it, like the movie did, because I really do like the movie, and I like how it went really abstract and it experimented and it played with a lot of different styles, and it was so raw and unfiltered. So I want to do something similar with kind of like the young, optimistic, open-mindedness watching that movie, and sort of the older, more cynical, corrupted, man, I complain about everything.
Yeah.
Watching that movie and sort of the in-between. That's why I liked getting Corey and his son in there. But I don't think I spelled it out enough. I think I made it too abstract. I think people took the jokes too literally. And again, that's on me. That's something where when somebody says this doesn't work, it's like, okay, that's on me. But at the same time, it's kind of cool that people are talking. It's cool people are reviewing reviews. Like they're seeing them as an art form, even if it's a bad art form. You want to be a good one, but I really like that people are actually talking about like there is an art to doing reviews, and I like we've come that far.
Yeah. Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits with a very important question. I just have to know, which do you think is better, An American Tail or Land Before Time? That feels like choosing a child. Me personally, I think I'd go with American Tail. I loved An American Tail.
All right, so Land Before Time's probably better put together movie in terms of what it's trying to accomplish, how it accomplishes it, hitting the bullet points and everything. American Tail, I do like more. It maybe because it does do things a little differently and stranger. And there's different environments that are kind of fun in different parts of America and the commentary and stuff. So I think I do like that more. If I had to say which one is better, I'd probably say Land Before Time, but which one do I like more? Yeah, American Tail.
The Real Official Cafe says, hey Doug, I don't know if you remember, but I'm the guy who was going batshit crazy in the Stardust ad for your Muppets Family Christmas review. I just wanted to thank you for including me. Love your work.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
Lord R. Wolfen says, I still hope you do a stream for Knights of the Old Republic because of this certain moment in it. There's a remake coming of KOTOR, which I think
we're gonna wait for that.
What we'll wait for. Yeah.
Was that next year that was coming out?
I think it might even be until like 2024 or something like that.
I mean, I feel like that's a good, because we already did a Star Wars game as well. So we'll see. Like I said, we like picked Guardians kind of last minute. We're just because we finished Fallen Order a lot faster than we thought. We're just like, oh shit, okay, what's the next one? Guardians, sure, let's do it.
Mumrar says, do you think the mission in Top Gun Maverick was in any way inspired by the Star Wars Trench Run? Loved this new movie. Everyone go see it on the big screen.
I mean, I feel like even Star Wars, that was inspired by a lot of, ships trying to fit into, certain areas to shoot. Say, like that's just a classic, World War II, or lots of fighter planes stories. But probably, sure.
Lord R. Wolfen is going back to the Knights of the Old Republic and says that moment is on par with I Am Your Father. So
all right. No, I mean, I hear it's really good, but yeah, it'll probably be a hot minute before we play it.
Dom Klain is pointing out they had a second part to their question, or the first part that you missed. They wanted to know about Indiana Jones 5 when it comes out, if you're going to do a review with Brad, because they loved, or no, when it comes out, if you'll do a Crystal Skull review with Brad.
I don't know, because I don't know if there's that much more I can add to it. I didn't hate it. It's not that good. I'm really hoping 5 is like a good ending, because they can't do another one after it. Nobody even thought they would do 5, honestly.
Yep.
So I'm just hoping this is a good, maybe even quiet ending. I love Stephen Colbert had a great joke about like, the next one's gonna be Indiana Jones and the Wheel of Fortune. It's just looking a little weird, him getting older and older.
Yeah. 4K Waifus, what a name, says, "Hey Doug, what's a remake that's better than the original? For me, it's the 1980s Scarface. I liked it better than the 1930s version."
That's pretty. The Fly, I think, is a better remake. Man, there's not many, but I know there's a couple. I'd have to like look it up. I think, like just a list of like remakes. Yeah, maybe I can look some up while we do the next question here. Okay. Yeah, kind of unpopular review, maybe. West Side Story, I like a little bit
Ooh,
more.
interesting.
Uh,
I don't know if I hate that opinion.
It's weird. Okay,
That's
so
interesting.
all right, so
The,
the
like
first
the
one,
current West Side Story, the remake couldn't really exist. Oh,
no, and it's rough
interesting.
because the first one is like groundbreaking and
Yeah.
so impressive. But in terms
Huh.
of which one's a better movie, like I kind of lean towards the new one.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that counts, but yeah, I guess I'll go with that. Yeah, I'm not seeing. There's not too many other ones on here that I'm like, yeah, that's better. Well, does this count? They made so many film versions of this. I guess it count. Little Women. I thought the actually shit. Most of them are pretty good. The more I think about it, there's not really a bad one. I feel like each one gets a little better. Though I have a soft spot for the Kirsten Dunst one. I really really like. Oh, and then of course The Thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
The
because
Thing.
I forgot. I'm like, why do I keep wanting to say The Thing? It's like because that is a remake. That's
It
right.
is.
So yeah.
That's what chat was really bringing up, The Thing.
Mhm.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Where are you with the Blue Sky Studios film for this year's Disney-cember? And what do you think of each one you've seen so far?
Well, this shows you how far behind I am. I am halfway through Ice Age, and that's it. I've been really bad keeping up on it. So, like I said, I'll catch up. Something about this year, I was talking, there's something about getting used to the norm again, because you've been away from it for
Yeah.
2 years with
Mm-hmm.
COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, that suddenly like things that weren't as difficult before are a little more difficult now, or they're more draining, I should say. So, and I feel so ridiculous saying that because it's just like, even just taking Buster to the vet and the operations. I mean, we used to be able to work stuff like that in so easily, and now it's kind of like, oh, that just drained me for the day. I need to just sit down and just catch my breath and my thoughts and stuff. And it's like it's not that big a deal. So I don't know. It's still kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. You know, Doug, Mario fans are excited for Mario Strikers Battle League, and one of the biggest reasons is because of the expressiveness in the characters. Although Mario games look nice, fans take notice that the characters don't exactly look that alive, although in Mario Strikers, the difference is staggering.
Huh. Okay. I guess I never really thought. Yeah, I guess there's not a wide range of expressions. That reaction Luigi shoots in Mario Kart, man, the death stare. But yeah, I guess outside of that, you're right. There's not a ton. I don't know, maybe I'll check it out. I hear it's a good
I'm
game too.
so excited for the new Mario Strikers. I was obsessed with Mario Strikers on the Wii, and I cannot wait to get it on the Switch.
I
I'm
should play it. I hear it's
so
fun.
excited. It's so fun. My brothers and I used to literally, the only time I thought I was gonna throw a Wiimote through my TV was playing Mario Strikers with my brother. Mumra, thank you for the 50 bits. Last time I asked you, you hadn't, but have you seen the new Cobra Kai Season 5 trailer and thoughts on it?
Yeah, it looks okay. I don't know.
I'm excited.
I'm Cobra Kai'd out.
Oh, are you now?
Yeah. If the only way they could get me back, because after you bring back, the spoon, after you bring him back, the only people you could bring in that would get me excited is either Hilary Swank, or Jane Smith. And, like, show that the other Karate Kid movie is technically canon. It's in the same universe. That would have been like so great, a great or Jackie Chan. fuck, really showed that they're connected. Like that would have been amazing. But just like this character you already saw, it was already part of the story. It's like, oh well, okay, sure. I don't know. And I'm sure it'll be okay. I was actually impressed with how decent this last season was, but you know what I mean? Where it starts off like the first two seasons are like, man, this is so like, where's this going? I'm so intrigued. And then it kind of becomes like every other show, but it's still an okay show, but it's like, oh, now it's just another TV show to watch. You know what I mean? Where like
Yeah.
when it started out, it felt really unique and really kind of special. And now it's kind of like, oh, they're doing what every show does now, if that makes sense. But they do it well.
Yeah. All right, this is going to be our last message here. Ken of Grimm, thank you for the 50 bits. I was wondering if you've seen the new Spawn animated series from the 90s. Also, why did maple trees cry at the movies? Because it was sappy.
It was toast. Anyway, I think I saw ads for it, but I never actually saw the show. And I hear it was good. I forgot it even existed, so maybe I should look it up.
Yeah, the Spawn series.
Yeah, I'll look it up at some point.
I drowned you over a second because I have a soundboard on my Stream Deck, so I sent a boo in just so
nice.
everyone could hear the boo for that. So
Nice.
You couldn't hear the boo, but
I couldn't hear. Well, it shows how much I'm out of it. I thought it was like a boo, and I'm like, why? Why would you do? Oh,
no, it was
like I
boo.
made a bad joke. Oh, I'm used to that.
Yeah.
That's just the norm around here.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. We super appreciate it, as usual. And just a reminder, we do have content here 6 days a week. So come on back tomorrow. Tamara will be here Friday. Malcolm will be here in the afternoon. Doug will be here in the evening. Saturday, I'm not sure what's happening with Awesome Comics. I got to talk to Walter. But then we have Sunday off and come on back for Monday, etc., so on and so forth. But yeah, we're going to do something that we don't always do. We're going to raid here. We're going to send everyone to go hang out with Tamara because Tamara's live. So let's go raid Tamara Chambers.
Say hi.
Yeah. There it is. Okay, the raid is ready. All right, everyone. Thank you so much again. We super appreciate you being here. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Goodbye.